So, good evening, YouTube. Good evening. We have lost again. This time, it wasn't because we played bad. Other factors played into the defeat. I actually thought we played really well. It was probably the best performance I've seen from Arsenal for a very long time. And yeah, ultimately, we ended up losing the game. And our form right now is so poor. It is unbelievable. I see after the game, let me move this light and that's it. Let me sit there. Let me sit right there. So yeah, I see after the game, the last 8 games that we've played, we're currently 17th, which is relegation on the form guide, which is it's pretty worrying. But today, I can't even get angry. I ain't even angry. I'm not even upset. I actually thought we played really well. And no, I won't be back at 9 o'clock. This is me done for the day after this Arsenal 9-4-2. I'll be done after this. But yeah, today I thought it was a decent performance up until the blunder from Leno, where I don't even know what he was trying to attempt to do. I don't get it. Gjorgjievski, I think, should have been sent off. I think the ref bottled it. I've seen people say that the referee should have sent Guendouzi off for doing the same in the first half, blah, 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 on Tammy Abraham. Yeah, I can kind of get that. But guess what? We were still 1-0 up at that point. So it is what it is. We lost. Leno, as good as he's been in the last few weeks, that one moment of rush of blood to their head got them back in the game. And then after that, their towels are up. We're deflated. We've worked our backsides off. And there was only going to be one team to win it from there on, really. And it's kind of sad because we didn't deserve to lose. We did not deserve to lose that game today. And then the way that Lampard and Chelsea went on, it was like they'd won the Champions League on our own ground or something. It was just mad. It was absolutely mad. My TV is about to turn itself off, so let's sort that out. There we go. But yeah, it was like they'd won the Champions League, the way they were celebrating in front of their fans at our ground. It's like, really? Come on, mate. You got lucky, and you should sit there and think, do you know what? We got lucky. Let's not take liberties here. But they can do what they want. They won the game. Anyway, let's get into the player ratings. Let's start with the goalkeeper. First half, he done a couple of little dinks out to Saka that I didn't really like. I thought, why are you trying to get him to win a header when he's the smallest player on the pitch? It was just a bit weird. And the second one he done about 2 minutes after the first one, he put straight into the East Stand. It was like, bruv, what are you actually doing? Or the West Stand? I think it was the West Stand. It's like, what are you actually trying to do? Do you think Saka's actually going to win a header? Yeah, so that was a bit worrying. Second half, the more they pressed us, the more he started flapping. And the first half, they didn't really press that well. And he looked comfortable. He had time on the ball. We could pick his passes other than the Saka ones. I actually thought he was all right. But then that rush of blood. And it's like, why have you even come for that? Seriously, stay on your line and you'll probably save it. Yeah, David Luiz was there. There was other players there. Torreira, they checked VAR to see if it was a foul. It weren't a foul. Let's be honest, it weren't a foul. I'm going to give him a 4. As good as he's been recently, that one moment of stupidness today got them right back into that game, right back into it. And then after that, it was like somebody had stuck a needle in our balloon. It just went ping, and that was the end of that. Let's move on to Maitland-Niles. Defensively, I thought he was decent pretty much all the game. Offensively, first half he was decent. Second half he faded. I'm going to give him a 7. I actually think, and I know people disagree with this because they rate Hector and stuff like that. I think that he is actually our best. He is actually our best defender, right back. Best right back, not defender, best right back. But yeah, I do actually think he is our best right back. Defensively, he's a lot better than anyone we can play at right back. Offensively, I don't think he's that great. Today he was first half, like I said, but he looks solid. And even when Hudson-Odoi came on, Hudson-Odoi is a tricky player, man. That geezer's quick, his bags of skill. The only time he looked like he got done was when he got a yellow card for pulling him back. Other than that, I thought he was pretty good. Let's go other side, Bukayo Saka. Their second goal, if you go and watch that back, he was at fault for that. Not blaming him solely for that goal, by the way. We'll come on to that with Mustafi in a minute. But yeah, I thought, again, first half he was good. Second half, he just went whoosh, see ya. I'm going to give him a 6. I think out of the defenders, he was probably our worst. But that's not saying he was crap. I don't think he was crap. I think he was actually all right. But at the same time, the last 2 games we've played, he has been at fault, or part of the fault, for the goals. The goal against Bournemouth the other day, it was his sloppy pass that ultimately led to their goal. Again today, not tracking back, not doing his job properly. And yeah, I don't think he covered himself in glory on that one bit. But that's not to say he was crap, like I said. Thank you, Mark, for your donation. If we had a performance, worked hard, good, yes, but lost. Starting point for me, no stress, worse things happen at sea. Exactly. Thank you very much for that. I'll come back to some comments and questions in a minute. But yeah, I thought the performance was there. I'll come on to Arteta in a minute. I'll do that at the end. Centre-backs, Callum Chambers went off. I hope he's not injured for a long time, because he has been our best centre-back consistently for the last 6 games, maybe. I think he's played really well. He only played about 30-odd minutes. It looked really bad at one stage, but then he got up and limped off. So I'm hoping it's only a little 2-3 weeker, not a 2 to 3 monther. So yeah, I'm going to give him a 7. David Luiz, best defender on the pitch, not just for us, but in the whole game. I thought David Luiz was superb today, and he raised his game. And I think Chig made this point earlier on the watch-along. He probably had a point to prove, because Lampard sacked him, basically. He basically said, listen, you ain't wanted here, mate. Go and find another club. So I think he wanted to prove a point today, and I think he did prove that point. I thought he was absolutely superb today. I think that was his best game for Arsenal. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Midfield, let's start with Guendouzi. Arguably could have been sent off. I can see why people are saying that. If I'm going to cry about Gjorgjievski, then I can see why people are saying the same about Guendouzi for a pullback on Tammy Abraham. Although saying that, I don't think the first foul that he got, where he got the yellow card, I don't think that was a yellow card. Especially when Tomori done exactly the same about a minute earlier and got away with it. So that referee today, I'll come to him in a minute as well. Jesus Christ. But Guendouzi, sloppy on the ball so many times, especially second half. First half, there was a few where I thought, just get rid of it, get rid of it. Second half, he went downhill quite quickly. But 6 out of 10 for Guendouzi. Let's move on to Torreira. First half, I thought he was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And he was back to the Torreira that we see about this time last year, where he finally got into the team, and then he had that 3 or 4 month period where he was just absolutely everywhere. And he was like what I expected Kante to be like today. And I thought Kante, don't get me wrong, I thought Kante grew into that game. But Torreira, from the first minute to the last minute, was throwing his body on the line. He was harassing people. He was getting in and around it. His passing was good. He was getting chops out the game, kicking him, pulling him back, everything in that game. And I thought at half time it was very close between him and Mesut Ozil, who was the best player on the pitch in that first half. I thought Ozil at half time, unbelievable. But Torreira, in a different position, a different part of the pitch, you could have argued he was the best player on the pitch in that first half. But I'm going to give him an 8 overall. Let's talk about Mesut Ozil. People know my thoughts on him. People that have watched my channel for a long time know I don't rate him. Don't get the hype about him. Well, today I did get the hype. And where has that Mesut Ozil been for 3 years? Because he was absolutely brilliant. But he's not my man of the match. He was superb today, though. He was nutmegging people. He was holding people off the ball. He was getting kicked. He was getting pushed. You know, people just like fouling him constantly in the game. He was running with like not just a little jog. He was like hard running. And he was everything that people tell me he is. But he was that today. And that is why I get so wound up with the geezer. Because it's like, you can do that today, and you've done it against Bournemouth the other day. Can you do that tomorrow or the next day or the next day? You're going to do that against United on Wednesday. Yeah. And where has that Ozil been? Where has that guy been for the last 2.5, 3 years? Because he's just shrunk and disappeared. But today, unbelievable performance from him. Yeah. He got knackered towards the end of the second half when he got subbed. And I think he should have got subbed. I think that was the right decision from Arteta. But I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. Let's move on to Reece Nelson. There was a few times in that first half where I thought, Listen, I didn't want him to start. I wanted Pepe to start. I don't understand why we spent so much money on a player that we're just dumping on the bench every week. And it's not just Arteta that's dumped him on the bench. Freddie did it, and so did Emery. So why did we spend that much money out on a player that we probably didn't need? We probably needed a centre-back. Well, we do need a centre-back, at least one. And we definitely needed a midfielder. And I said this at the time. Listen, don't get me wrong. I was buzzing that we signed Pepe. But play him. He scored 4 goals this season. He's got 5 assists if you want to count assists and all that rubbish, yeah? So he's been involved in 9 goals this season. Look how many minutes that guy's played. He's hardly featured this season. And he's contributed to 9 goals this season. So I just think that he should have started. But then when I see Nelson playing, I was like, okay, cool. He obviously rates Nelson over him, blah, blah, blah. But I think Nelson actually played better second half than he did first half, which is kind of mad because I thought he was all right in the first half. Final ball lacking a few times, although he did put a great cross in the box to Aubameyang, who laid it off to a.f.c, and a.f.c ballooned it over the bar. So yeah, I don't know. I just think that overall, I'd say that was one of his best performances for Arsenal, but that's not saying he was fantastic today, Nelson. There was times in the second half where he got the ball and he just legged it down the wing and carried the ball 70 yards up the pitch. There was one where he should have had a free kick in front of the lino. Again, that linesman was shocking today. He gave an offside for Lacazette when Rudiger kept him about 4 yards onside. But obviously VAR didn't want to check that one. But I'll give Nelson a 7. I think that was a better performance from him today than what I see the other day against Bournemouth. Let's move on to Lacazette. a.f.c is what I call him recently. He worked so hard today. With the ball, I thought he was useless. Without the ball, I thought he was absolutely immense today. He was getting stuck in. He was getting persistently fouled. He was trying to link the play. He got booked when Gjorgjievski should have got a second yellow card because he was arguing that it should have been a second yellow card. And the ref went, oh, okay, I'll tell you what, let me book you. How about do your job properly, ref, and send Gjorgjievski off because it should have been a second yellow, especially after you booked Torreira 2 minutes earlier for doing exactly the same. But there we go. But Lacazette, I don't think he was great. He's lacking confidence in front of goal. You can see that. The chances he's wasted in the last couple of games has just been mad. He could have had a hat-trick against Bournemouth the other night, and he should have had a couple today. But I'm going to give him a 7. I thought his work rate was there today. I thought he run his socks off today. Let's move on to my man of the match, Aubameyang. It was close because I really wanted to give it to Ozil, but when I looked at Aubameyang's goal, what a finish that was, by the way. What a finish. But then his work rate off the ball, which is something that I've criticised him for pretty much since he's been at Arsenal. He does nothing unless he scores a goal. Well, today he did everything and scored a goal. And I'm sitting there watching this Liverpool game, and when I'm watching Salah, Firmino, Mane, they're walking a title, but then players are busting their bollocks off to go and fight for each other. And I've seen all 3 of them in their own penalty box winning the ball back in this game. Yeah, Aubameyang was doing that today. Aubameyang was blocking crosses. He was blocking shots. He was slide tackling, getting the ball back, carrying it 40 yards up the pitch. His movement in and around the box, I've said always, even though I haven't rated him without the ball, always I've said his movement in the box is the best in the Premier League. And that showed again with his goal today. The way he pulled off a Tomori, yeah, the geezer didn't even know where he was. And that header, that finish, listen, their goalkeeper's dead. I don't know why they spent 70 million quid in that goalkeeper because he should have done better with that. But I think the pace on the ball probably done him. But yeah, I thought Aubameyang was superb today. And I'm actually going to give him a 10 out of 10. I don't do that often. But for everything that I've moaned about with Aubameyang in the last couple of months or since he's pretty much been here without the ball, he was absolutely everything I wanted to see without the ball today. Plus he scored his goal as well. So 10 out of 10 for him. Let's move on to subs. Do drive the likes up while you're at it. There's 800 people watching this live. So do put the likes up. I would appreciate that. Subscribe if you're new as well to the channel. And also my Instagram. We're not far off 10,000 on that. I can do the swipe up feature at 10K to link my videos. So if you ain't subscribed to that or following that, go and do that. And my Facebook. That link is in the description as well. So go and check them out. But let's move on to subs. Let's go with Mustafi, who came on for Callum Chambers. who will probably be out for a while. Mustafi might be out for the next couple of games because I think he's fully concussed after that challenge with Rudiger, where they banged heads. But Mustafi, I think Chig was a little bit harsh on him when he done his player rating on him. I'm going to give him a 6. I actually thought he'd done really well when he came on. To come into a game not up to speed, hardly featured recently, and to come into a game and not look out of place, I think was credit to him. Credit to David Luiz as well, because listen, I've mugged David Luiz off so many times, but I think David Luiz and him look decent together today. The only thing I'd mark Mustafi down on is the fact that for their second goal, he probably should have been tighter to Tammy Abraham. But listen, Tammy Abraham is, and I said this all the way through on the build up to this game, Tammy Abraham is not an easy player to play against. That guy is an awkward striker. If you drop off of him, he'll run at you and he'll do a skill round you. He can ping a screamer, he can score a header. If you want to have a physical battle, he'll have that with you. He's got bags of energy, bags of skill. He was pressing at times. But I'm going to give Mustafi a 6. I would have given him a 7 because I don't think he was that bad. I think he was actually really good when he come on. But for that goal, that second goal, he should have been tighter. And he wasn't. But listen, I think he probably shouldn't have been on the pitch after that clash of heads because he was down for a long, long time. And I don't think he was right. Even after that, he went in for another header, which he won. But then he was down, crouching down on his knees at one point for about a minute. And I think that the club doctor probably should have took him off. But he didn't. And then obviously he weren't close enough to Tammy Abraham. I'll give him a 6. Joe Willock probably should have scored. I actually thought it was in. I'll give him a 4. I don't think he was all right. In fact, actually, that's harsh. I'll give him a 5. And Pepe weren't on the pitch long enough to do anything. It was like Arteta went, oh, okay, well, we're 1-1 now. Oh, actually, yeah, we better throw you on before everyone kicks off that I didn't throw you on. That's how it looked to me. He should have come on 10 minutes before Chelsea scored the goal. And I was crying out for him to come on 10 minutes before that because I was thinking they're going to go for an equaliser, take Lacazette off, put Aubameyang up front, and then go with Pepe left side, Reece Nelson right side. Then you've got players on their right foot on each side. And then you've got the pace down the wing. You've got the rawness of Pepe as well. Even he don't know what he's going to do after time. But then when they're pushing forward, you've then got that outball down either wing. We didn't do that. And obviously the result went against us. But I ain't going to give him a mark. He weren't on long enough. Arteta, I'm going to mark him a 6. I would have marked him higher than that had we got a win. But I think that he kind of played a little bit into Chelsea's hands by not bringing the sub on quicker for Pepe. I think he got his sub right by taking Ozil off. He'd run his socks off. I think bringing Willock on, yeah, that was the guy I would have probably brought on for Ozil maybe. But not bringing Pepe on until he did, I think was probably part of the factor. But there we go. Fans, well, listen, 7-minute stoppage time came up. Was anyone left in the ground? I don't know. It didn't look like it. You could actually see the cannon on the stand. 7 minutes to go. You're 2-1 down at home. It's a Sunday. What are you rushing home for? I don't get it. I've never understood leaving early. I've never got that. And in fact, the stadium was pretty much dead with maybe 2 minutes to go. So nearly 10 minutes of a football match left, including stoppage time, and people have left. Don't get that. So I'll rate them a 4. And the referee, I'm going to give him fuck all because he deserves fuck all. You know, he weren't consistent at all. At some points, he was giving yellow card. He gave Guendouzi a yellow card for the same thing Tomori got away with 2 minutes earlier on Reece Nelson. He's then booked Maitland-Niles and he's booked Torreira for pullbacks, but then bottled it when Jorginho pulled back Torreira, which, by the way, it fed a ball through to Aubameyang and we were clean through. We were gone, and there's no way you're catching Aubameyang. So I think the ref was crap. I think the linesman was crap in the second half. At the same time, he didn't give Guendouzi the one on Tammy Abraham where he pulled him back, so I can kind of see where people have come from that. But overall, no consistency. VAR. What is VAR? Seriously, what is that? How come? I'm watching this Wolverhampton Wanderers game against Liverpool at Anfield. They've ruled a goal out for Wolves in this game. I still don't even know if that's offside. Yeah, it is that close. So how VAR have then just decided to go, oh, let's double check that. Well, you ain't seeing that with a naked eye, mate. Yeah, so you've guessed, and then you've guessed again because it could go either way. Right, today, where was VAR saying to the referee today? Actually, we've looked at that, yeah, and you booked Torreira 2 minutes earlier for a pullback, mate. So why don't you send him off? Because he's done exactly the same as what Torreira's done, yeah. And then 3-4 minutes after that, Maitland-Niles pulls back Hudson-Odoi, yellow card, no hesitation. You know, he was booking players for Arsenal like it was going out of fashion on their first tackle. David Luiz got booked first tackle, yeah. Big up the sis in the cut with her towel on her head. But yeah, that referee was a joke. He was an absolute disgrace and he needs to just be demoted. In fact, strike him off. In fact, the standard of refereeing in this country is a disgrace. And I've said this a long, long time now. Why not bring over some of the officials from other leagues and rotate them all around leagues? So get all the Premier League officials to go and referee in Germany 1 week and all the German officials to come and referee over here 1 week. Then swap it with the Italian, the Spanish, the French. Just keep swapping around. That way, these referees are not being picked and having agendas against certain teams. I'm not saying that referee's a Chelsea fan. I don't think he is. I don't know. I don't care. At the end of the day, that referee had a decision to make by sending Gjorgjievski off. And how many times do these referees bottle it? Because, oh, well, I've booked him already, so we better not send him off. And then 2 minutes later, you're booking someone for exactly the same as you should have sent him off for, but bottled it. And lo and behold, how many times does it happen? The guy who should have been sent off pops up and gets the goal. It happens time and time and time again. I'm absolutely sick to death of these officials taking liberties. And it's not just for my team. Listen, Chelsea didn't deserve to win today. Fair play to them. They won. Yeah, the way they celebrated at the end of the game was hilarious. It's like, really? Really? Like, you're going around like you've won a trophy at our ground. Come on, man. Yeah, it's not Derby where you can stand there doing this bounce crap. Yeah, seriously, you got lucky today. Got lucky today. But fair play. Take your 3 points and you leave. Yeah, I see something today where I thought, you know what? We didn't deserve to lose. The work rate was there. I don't want Arteta as manager. Everybody knows that. Everyone's giving all that about it. But today, I don't blame him. I don't think he was to blame. I think he should have brought Pepe on a bit quicker. Other than that, other than starting Pepe, which I thought he should have done, I think he got everything spot on today, really. But then 2 little things there, coupled with the fact that the referee bottled that decision on Jorginho, meant that we lost the game. And we're currently struggling, really struggling. 5 wins out of 20 in the Premier League. Be careful what you wish for, I suppose, isn't it? But no, the players today, I can't really fault any of them players. Yeah, I can give them different marks and stuff like that. But there wasn't a player on that pitch today where I thought, you know what, you were crap today. Mikel Arteta, I don't think he was crap today. We go forward. We've got Man United on Wednesday, and that ain't going to be easy. Let's be real. And they've put a shift in today. So some of them players are going to be knackered. And after 60 minutes against Man United, that could be where they then kick on and potentially win the game again. We could be sat right down in that bottom part of the table come Wednesday night. Let's hope we beat Man United, eh? Anyway, listen, that's me rambling on for 24 minutes. Thank you very much to 758 people still watching this live. Do drive the likes up, and I'm going to do 6 minutes worth of comments up until 30 minutes. I'm going to get myself out of it. Big up Tone in the building. How you doing, bruv? Hope you're good, mate. Trolling my chat with your Chelsea talk. Who won the league without losing a game? Well, listen, Liverpool could be joining us very soon, mate. They could be joining. I actually think they will go unbeaten. I don't think anyone's beaten them. They're too good, man. They're too good. They've got everything, that team. And I remember when Klopp was available, everyone went, oh, no, we don't want Jurgen Klopp. He nearly relegated Dortmund, yeah? I bet everyone would take Jurgen Klopp now, wouldn't they? When's the next podcast? I don't know. I'm trying to sort that out, if I'm being honest, because obviously now I live in Spain, mate. Now I live in Spain. It's a lot harder to come back to England to do a podcast the way I wanted to do it. So I'm going to sort that out between now and the 9th of January when I go back to Spain, matey. I'll keep you posted. Check out my Insta and Facebook for that. Links in the description. Don't care about Twitter. If you want to go and follow it, the link's in there. But more Facebook and and Insta. Big up Shaheen Shamanza for your donation. Very generously, mate. Thank you. Good effort today. All down to the board now. Hope they get their fingers out their backside. I can only hope we beat Man United. Well, this is the thing, yeah. Like I said, that performance today, that's the benchmark now. That's the benchmark. They've now got to play like that every single week. That work rate from Aubameyang. And it's funny because I actually see that work rate from Aubameyang last time we played Chelsea at home. Yeah, I was at that game. And I remember him slide tackling, I think it was Eden Hazard in the penalty box. And it was like, rah! Yeah, that is what I want to see from our striker. I'm sitting here watching Salah, Mane and Firmino slide tackling on the edge of their box. Yeah, because Klopp will not allow that level to drop. And if he does drop, you ain't getting played, mate. And that is what we need at Arsenal. And this is what we've needed at Arsenal for a decade. Yeah, and people went in on me the other day when I was moaning about the Bournemouth result and everyone was knocking one out about, oh, but we worked hard. It should be the bare minimum. Working hard against Bournemouth and celebrating a draw, for me, is embarrassing. Yeah. Today, yes, we've lost. And people will say you're celebrating a loss. Listen, we didn't deserve to win to lose the game, sorry. We did not deserve to lose that. For me, today was the best performance I've seen for a long, long time from Arsenal. Yes, it's ended in a loss. The 3 points were lost. It's as simple as that. But the effort, the work rate, the hunger and desire, playing for each other, fighting for each other. As soon as a decision went against us, 3 or 4 of our players were around the ref. That's what I want to see. Bring back that fuckery. Yeah, bring back getting in the ref's face. Where has that been for a decade? You know, yes, we do it every once in a blue moon. But for me, celebrating a draw against the team that were 14th the other day and our striker jumping in the crowd because he scored against Bournemouth. No, get the ball and run back to halfway like Martinelli did against West Ham the other week. That's why I went in on that. Against Everton, I thought that was a better performance, even though we drew again. We shut Everton out to 0 shots on target, and they'd beaten Chelsea. They'd drawn with Man United, and they'd won in midweek. And people are going, oh, Everton played crap. Yeah, because they were knackered because they played 3 games in a week. You know, and today I did see a change today, but let's see if we see that again against Man United. Then see if we see that again against Leeds United. Let's see if we see that again after that. You know, I want to see big performances like that every single week because we're not Barnet. This is Arsenal Football Club. I expect work rate and all of that hunger and passion and desire as a bare minimum. And when we lose, if you give me that, I ain't going to get angry about it. If you play like dickheads every week and don't give me nothing and we lose, then yeah, I'm going to have a rant about it. I'm going to have a sit here on a YouTube channel or on my Twitter account or whatever and slag a few of them off, yeah. And if people don't like that, then, well, sorry. I'm sure you're all doing the same. You're just not on YouTube doing it with your face on camera. You know, I'm sure you're sitting on your social media accounts or sitting with your mates in the pub slagging off this player because he was crap today or that player because he was crap today. You know, I'm sure AFTV will get blamed for the loss today because that's how reactionary and muggy a part of our fan base is, that they will blame anything other than the actual problem. But today, I can't fault that team and I can't fault that manager today. So, yeah, going forward, Wednesday, we got another massive game. Anyway, let's read some more of these out. Starting front 3 against United. Well, Mufana, hope I got your name right. I don't know where Martinelli is. I don't know why he ain't in the squad, but hopefully he is in the squad because I want him to start. I think he's quality. Pepe has to start a game, man. If Pepe doesn't start against Man United, get rid of him because it's quite clear that Reece Nelson is Arteta's project. So, yeah, for me, I'd get rid of him. If he ain't going to start him against Man United, bye-bye, Pepe. Thanks for the 2 screamers against Vitoria. It's time to say goodbye. We'll see what happens. Lacazette run his socks off today, and Aubameyang's got to start. I don't want him playing on the left wing. Don't get me wrong. And did you see where he scored his goal from? In and around the 6-yard box. That's where Aubameyang does his best work. But today, off the ball, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And when you go and look at Tottenham and look at Harry Kane, when you go and look at Jamie Vardy at Leicester, when you go and look at Sergio Aguero at City, all 3 of them, even Firmino's doing slide tackles in his own box, all 4 of them, they've got the work rate off the ball. And all 4 of them, or 3 of them without Firmino maybe, take Firmino out of that. The other 3 I mentioned all scored there or thereabouts the same amount of goals as Aubameyang, but they've always got the work rate anyway. So I want to see that work rate from Aubameyang again against Man United. It was heartbreaking. I was close to tears at full time, says Omar. Mate, as soon as I see that free kick coming and Leno do what he did, it was just that sinking feeling. It was like, here we go again. Santa Claus, Arsenal giving gifts away. Martinelli is injured. Yeah, I did think he would miss the game the other night because he got a kick the other night. But I didn't expect him to be out for a few games. Lee, you were right. I was shouting for Pepe to come on for Laka 15 minutes earlier. I think that's something Arteta needs to work on. Well, listen, it is something he needs to work on, but it's only his second game. So hopefully he has learned from that. And I haven't seen his post-match interview or his press conference afterwards, but I hope he's dug that referee out. Saka was injured or had cramp for the second goal. He struggled to get back, says Lee. Big up, Lee. Good name. Arsenal need players, says Carlos. 100%. Do you think we would be better off not being in European competition next season, says Arsenal 942. In a way, yes, because we can focus on actually getting up the table and it's just 1 week to the next rather than Thursday nights in Kazakhstan or anywhere else in the world. Big up Kazakhstan. It looks nice. Flex went there. It looks sick, by the way. But we could do without flying there in midweek. But then at the same time, if we're not in Europe, the better players at our club, and there's not many of them, but the better players at our club will leave. So it's a catch-22. These players are not good enough to win us a title. None of them, in my opinion, are good enough to win us a title. But at the same time, we need them here to get us back up, or some of them here to get us back up to where we should be, to then kick on to go and move on and get rid of them and get a title-winning team. So it's a hard one, man. I don't know. I don't know. I do kind of like the Europa League, if I'm honest. I prefer it to Champions League because we have actually got a chance to win this competition. Whereas Champions League, we were there for the money and that was it. I would start Nelson, Abba and Pepe on Wednesday, says Football Vids. Evening to you. Evening, Abamon. Arteta needs to be bold with his subs, 100%. The ref was even worse than Leno, says Leo. Let's read a couple more and I'm going to get myself out of here. Do you think we've... Oh, I've read that one already. Let's go down. Lack of threat out. Well, I don't know about that, mate. I don't know. Listen, if somebody comes in and bids over 100 million quid or 120 million quid for the pair of them, then yeah, maybe sell them and rebuild. And if that means that we're going to write off getting into Europe and just staying 12th, 13th, 14th, whatever it is we're in the league now, and somebody comes in and goes 70 for Abba, 60 for Laka, take it. Take it, take it, take it. Then go and put that to and get rid of Pepe as well if you ain't going to play him. So let's say, what, I don't know, 60 million, 60, 50 million, whatever. You've then got 180 million pounds to go and rebuild your team off of the sale of 3 players. So I don't know, man. That 180 million quid, you've only got to look at Coutinho. Coutinho was sold for 140. By the way, Barcelona is still owed, Liverpool is still owed about half of that. So when people say, oh, but you paid for Pepe in installments. Well, everyone pays in installments and Barcelona still fully owe them half of the money. But they went and brought a decent goalkeeper, a top-class goalkeeper, and they brought the best centre-back in the world. Now look at them. They're walking a title. So sometimes you've got to speculate to accumulate, and sometimes you've got to get rid of a player that you really want to keep just to make your team better going forward. I don't know. Listen, we take Lacazette out the team. Are we going to really miss him? Probably not. If we take Aubameyang out, we're going to miss his goals. So you go and buy someone that will replace him, or you go and buy 2 players that will chip in with the same amount of goals, but will make you better. Maybe a midfielder that scores goals and a striker. I don't know. That's why these people are paid millions and millions of pounds to make these decisions. Man United paid full 80 million for Maguire last season. Good work by Leicester. They actually did. They paid the whole lot up front, which doesn't happen often, Gjorgjievski, if I'm honest. 90% or 95% of these transfer deals are done in installments. Lee, we played good today, but we didn't win. Yep. Ricardo, you're right. Which player would you get to replace Granit Xhaka? I get asked that quite a lot, DJ Balaj. I wouldn't. I think we've got him. I think we've got him already. Guendouzi. Is he any better or worse? He's probably not worse. He might be a bit better. He's got a right foot. Yes, he's a bit of a liability at times, but Granit Xhaka's a liability at least once every game as well. So I wouldn't necessarily replace Xhaka with a Xhaka type player. I'd put Guendouzi there. then go and buy another player. Leno is the 90s David James. David, pick up yourself, Ty. David says relegation loading. Well, who knows? We're going to be even lower down if we lose to Man United. Let's hope we don't. On that note, thank you very much to nearly 800 people still watching live. Drive the likes through the roof. Subscribe if you're new. Do go and follow my Insta. That's in the description. Go and follow my Facebook. That is in the description. I will be back tomorrow. 2 live streams as usual. Daily transfer as usual. Daily transfer update in the morning. So yeah, sad times to be an Arsenal fan right now. It is what it is. I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Always appreciate it. Laters, peeps.